And we are back. Kasinator Visuals has created a personal documentary project reflecting and promoting, or I should say reflecting on promoting the real and raw aspects as well as the culture of the Bronx through the lens of a Bronx photographer. And joining us now to share a little bit more about her projects, clothing line, and photography is Kasinator, founder of Kasinator Visuals. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. You got a lot going on. I didn't get
Yes.
the book up too. Make sure we get this get the book up and share a little bit
Yes.
about this here. It's
So I started doing Bronx photography around 2014, basically I was always doing documentary photography, but basically to really show where I'm from. A lot of people didn't really understand what the Bronx really is about, and that's something that was a big kind of taboo, especially when I was in art school, kind of like showing what was so real about the Bronx. So that's something that always stuck with me, and especially before gentrification was like the big topic and stuff like that. That was something that was showing a lot of the changes of the neighborhoods and a lot of the people and a lot of things that were going on at the time.
And so when you looked at that, you said, "What? What do I want? I want to do something about this."
Yeah, since it was a lot before a lot of the talks of gentrification, it wasn't something that was like a big thought until like 2015, 2016, when it became a huge topic, and then it became more important to really show what I was doing, and to really put this like out there and stuff like that for people who don't really know about the Bronx at all.
So when people talk about on these Bronx streets,
I would hope that people talk very highly about it, but that's the whole point of why I make these zines and put them on my clothes as well, is to really show like all the great aspects about it, because the Bronx is a really beautiful place, and it's something that people don't really know unless you really live here.
and so what do you want people to capture? Because obviously, I mean, you've got some great photos, you did some great
Thank you.
photography. Talk to us about what you want people to capture as they're looking.
I think it's more of when you're doing photography yourself, it's more of how you see what you're looking at. I normally do it kind of very realistic shots and things like that are happening at the moment, not so much many pose things. But when I do, and when I talk to people about photography, I would hope that they just really see the things that that's whatever's capturing their eye, whatever's capturing their focus, because there's no real thing to photography really. It's just how you view the world, basically.
Right, and you get people seeing it from very different perspectives.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have an opportunity for people to actually see your work. Got
Yes.
a couple shows coming up.
So on this Saturday coming up, with Image Gallery and Escape to New York, we're having a group art show with 14 other artists. And basically I'm having 4 new pieces that haven't really shown out there before, that are going to be hung up and everything as well. And then on June 7th, I'm going to be with Fantasy and Color, and I'll be showing some work there as well.
You've got photography.
Yeah.
And then you've got some other stuff going too.
Yes. So with my brands, basically, I do books, and I do make sure that everything is basically with the whole essence of what the Bronx is. So I ended up creating a Bronx portfolio box set that I'm now releasing. And what's so great about it is that it has basically the subway map. But the great thing about it is that it also has interactive prints, where it's different from the actual book. And you can frame this, you can use it kind of like a trading card thing, so that most of them will have different prints as well, or it could just be a coffee table book, which I really hope that people would just appreciate more of the place that they're from as well.
Now, in all that you do, is there one that you have a more particular passion about?
Photography has always been my passion since I was a child, but lately, within the past like 2 years, since 2017, I've done clothing and crafting and stuff like that. So I make my own kind of jewelry and a lot of things that basically signify the Bronx. So right now, this is like a new tote that I have.
Right, we'll show the people the tote bag right
Yeah,
here.
the shirt that I'm wearing also
Yeah.
comes from my brand. So it's basically to just signify the beauty of the Bronx that you could wear and have and things like that.
What do you think about the Bronx? What do you love about it the most?
Oh, I mean, I love everything about the Bronx because I guess I'm of Puerto Rican descent. So basically, I love the different cultures that are a part of the Bronx. There's so many mixtures of people that are part of it as well, and you get to really experience the different neighborhoods and the different foods and the sounds and the smells, and I think all of that is what really makes the Bronx as special as what it is.
And for you as an artist, talk to other people who are artists out there because, you know, I've often had this conversation about arts is not always highly publicized.
Yeah.
In schools, it's not, you know, frequently, you know, lifted up. But for you, it's become a career.
Yeah, I think it's because I had great role models. So my mom and my family basically encouraged me taking photos since like forever. I used to walk around with a disposable camera, so that's really what kind of brought a lot of my documentary photography out. But it wasn't until really I pushed more, especially in art school. I went to the School of Visual Arts, so it wasn't until then that I basically was making sure that this was a very big, important topic to be looked at and that it needs to be seen, especially in this time.
And coming up in the future, what do you see yourself focusing on going forward in your photography?
Mainly the photography, the books, things like that. I've always just kind of pushing to be in more shows to kind of get more people's attention about what's happening here, what I'm doing as well. But I think that eventually I do want to have like my own studio that would basically give underprivileged people who can't really afford big photography services with like headshots for jobs and things like that in order to help serve back my community as well.
Alrighty, well, Kasinator, thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Kasinator from Kasinator Visuals. Now to check out her work, visit KasinatorVisuals.com and on Instagram at Kasinator Visuals. Now, I want to let you know, unfortunately, we have come to the end of our show today. I want to thank all our guests for joining us, but most of all, I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the Recablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum's Channel 67. If you have Verizon Files, check us out on Channel 33 or watch us anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. That wraps it up for us here on the set of Open. I am Darren Jaime telling you, make sure to keep this channel wide open. Take care. God bless. We'll see you soon.